this program, we are going to identify the largest number from the given array. So we will try to find out the solution with multiple ways. The first way is without using any JavaScript method, existing method, we'll try to find it. And second way is we are going to identify using the existing JavaScript methods. So in interview, try to go with the first approach. In normal, you can go for a second approach. That is fine. So here this is an array and we want to identify the largest number. So first we have to think about it, how to find the solution. So here this is a sample array. Here this is the representation 12, 9 and this one. Now we want to, like, if you want to identify any solution, first think yourself. So here the value is 12 and the next value is 9. So what is the biggest number in these two? So the biggest number is 12. So how can you verify it? If you are comparing 12 and 0, 9, what is the biggest number? 12 is the biggest number. So what is the biggest number? You try to store that biggest number in the one variable. So this is the one variable. So and now we got this. What is the biggest number? 12. And we will compare this 12 with the next variable. So now this time 12 and we are comparing with 45. So what is the biggest number in the second time? The biggest number is 45. So whenever that 45 is there, now we will cancel this 12 and we will replace with the 45. So that is like we will reassign the value to 45. Now again we are going to compare this 45 with 78. So what is the biggest number in this two? 78. So again we will close this as 45 and we'll add with the 78. Okay, now we will compare with 78 with the 67. Now what is the biggest one? These two? 78. So already we are having 78, so there is no change at all. Again we'll go for a next one, 78 with the 09. So what is the biggest value here? And 78 is the biggest number. Already our results is having the 78, so there is no change. So that means, so we need to iterate one by one here and we need to compare these two. What is the biggest number? That value will compare with the next one, and what is the biggest number here? We will compare with the next one. So we want to compare we want to iterate one by one. So hence the first step we want to do is a for loop. So once we have the for loop, we can iterate one by one. That is okay. And to store the result, we want another variable. So that is the reason we'll be having another. So let us try to solve this program from the program way. So here, so the first way is, let us have one variable constant max num. So here by default, whenever we want to have is like whatever the number in the 0th place, we want to assign as a default value to the result. So that is the reason here what we will do. So this is an array. If you want to access the first element, you can access like an array of 0. So this 0 automatically it will pointing to the 12, whatever the first element. Now our max number is nothing but a 12. Now we want to compare this value with this value. So that is the reason we have to go for a for loop. Let us go for iteration. You can take any loop, either for or while or do while. Any loop you can take it. Since we know the number of iterations here, we'll go for a for loop. Let's go for the for loop here, and for and let I is equal to 0, I less than. Here we are going to compare with the ARR. So that is the reason we will say ARR dot length and I plus plus. So we are going to compare from the 0th element and we can go for a next one. Since already we know that we have assigned that 0 element, if you want to skip one iteration, you can simply give the 1 here. Or if you want to go with the 0 also, both things will be working fine. So let us try to solve the problem. So now first thing what we have to do, we have to compare. So suppose if you see this 12, we have to compare with the 18, like 09. So that is the reason. Let's go here and we need to compare. So how can you take this first number? This is nothing but the 12 is available inside the maximum number. I can write like a if, okay, and maximum number less than ARR of I. So this ARR of I is meaning is, so if currently this element is 0th element, already this value also 0. So simply we can skip the one iteration and go for next. So now maximum number is 12 and ARR of I means I is equal to 1 and ARR of 1 means a first index value. The first index value is 9. So here it will compare like a 12 less than 9. So this condition will be false. Whenever this condition is false, it will not go inside the loop. And whenever this condition is true, then only it will go inside here. So whenever our max number is less than our array, we can assign that value to our number. So something like this. So whenever we are assigning here, and automatically that new value will be coming into the results. So let us go here and let us find a print the console.log. Console.log of max num. Okay. So assignment to constant. So here, so if you see, this is a constant. Once we declare the constant, we cannot change the constant value. So whenever we want to change the value, we have to go for a let only. Yeah. So what is the biggest number here? 78. So here, and the another advantage is if we have like 10 elements, we are going to iterate only one time. If you see, we are writing like I is equal to 1, and we are going to go for only I is equal to dot length, like the dot length. That means we are going to iterate only one time. That means if your array is having 10 elements, the time complexity is only 10. That means it will iterate only 10 times. So that is the reason this is the fastest way to identify the maximum number. And this is without using any predefined methods. And if you want to use the predefined methods, now let us go for a predefined methods, how to identify it. So now what we are going to do, we will remove all this code. Now the second way is how to identify the using the predefined methods. So there is a math class here and max. So inside the math.max, you can provide the any number of elements, and you can, but this math.max will not take an array as argument. So that is the reason we have to give like a ARR. It will return the one maximum number, constant max number. So here math.max, and you can print the output console.log of max num, and you can print it. Okay, so this is the maximum. So this is the using the predefined methods. This is the one way. And suppose you want to identify using the sort approach also. So we don't want to use the math.max, then we have to use the sort. There is another function called sort. So first what we will do, we will sort our array. So this technique, what it will do, we will arrange them in the either ascending order or a descending order. If you want to do that, we can go for like a ARR dot sort, and the sort will take a function, and that function will take a two arguments, a comma b, and we are going to write a ES6 function here, and we can say a minus b. So this meaning is this is a sort function. It will take two arguments, and if a minus b, if it is returning a positive value, it will place in the same order. If it is returning a negative value, the values will be changed. If it is written 0, both value will be equal. And now we can print the console.log of, suppose this will go in ascending order, and first we'll print the ARR, and then the next step will, so see here, it is ordering the ascending order. Okay, now if we want to identify the biggest number from the sorted array, so simple. If you want to get the first element, smallest element, ARR of 0. If you want to get the biggest element, you can get like a ARR and ARR dot length minus 1. So ARR dot length minus 1 always will give the last value, and you can see. So this is a sorted array. From the sorted array, you can get this one. So like this, you can use the any of the approach. So based on that, like if they don't have any conditions, like you should not use any predefined methods, you can use like a if they're saying we should not use any predefined methods, go with the first approach. If they're not saying any conditions, then we can use either this approach or with this approach. So any approach we can use it.